Vicky. I'm the Senior Community Dietitian at Southwestern Sydney Local Health District. And today, thank you, Stacey and Muriel, inviting me to today's event. I'm going to cover common nutritional risks for Parkinson's, including unintentional weight loss and malnutrition, constipation and fiber, and certain vitamins and supplements that are related to Parkinson's. Well, I guess today the event is for young onset Parkinson's. So I believe most of the attendees today are people with young onset Parkinson's, or maybe they're carers. So maybe let's start with talk about a little bit about young onset Parkinson's. In young onset Parkinson's usually occur in people younger than 50, and symptoms are similar to late onset Parkinson's. Symptoms varies. Not everyone will experience all of them. It is important to understand the challenges and be prepared. So people with Parkinson's can experience an unintentional weight loss. This can be due to the side effects of Parkinson's medications, increased body movements, or difficulty in meal preparation as a result of involuntary body movements. Unintentional weight loss is often accompanied with muscle loss, which includes respiratory muscle loss. That makes it harder for people to breathe, to walk safely, to exercise. Weight loss can also increase risk of falls, infections, delayed wound healing, and general weakness. If you are able to gain a small amount of weight, it can improve strength, immunity, exercise endurance, and general well-being dramatically. Some people with Parkinson's may have swallowing difficulty, which results in reduced fluid and food intake, and consequently leads to weight loss, dehydration, and malnutrition. They may require texture-modified diet and thickened fluids. And because of the increased movement, some people may find it hard to control the hands and eat their meals independently. A usual 15 minutes to half an hour meal time can be delayed to 1 hour or longer. Constipation and osteoporosis are very commonly diagnosed amongst people with Parkinson's. The more severe of your osteoporosis, the higher risk of falls and muscle wastage. If you're not eating well, it increases the risk of falling. Some people tend to restrict their food and fluid intake due to various reasons. It again increases the risk of dehydration, malnutrition, and delirium. There are some other nutritional risks such as heartburn, low blood pressure, and low sodium levels. So if you have lost weight or you are underweight, there are some simple nutritional interventions you can take. So eat a variety of food every day to keep up your appetite. If you can't manage a normal size meal, you can have smaller meals but add snacks in between your meals. You can also fortify your meals to boost up fiber and other nutrients. So for example, add additional oil in salad or soup. Add skim milk powder into your regular milk to make it a fortified milk. Add avocado in your salad. Add an egg when making mashed potato. Sometimes you can also add some cheese into scrambled eggs. Some people may find it difficult to fortify their meals due to the difficulty they experience in shopping and meal preparation. In that case, using medical nutritional supplements can be an alternative. There are different forms of medical nutritional supplements, powder, liquid form, or pudding type. They all have different nutritional content. So the best way is to consult your dietitian to find the one that is suitable for you. Foods are always the best. Dietitian will not encourage you to take the medical nutritional supplements unless you can't get enough of certain nutrients through food due to various reasons. We can always start with cheaper alternatives, such as cheese and biscuits, high-protein yogurt, baked bean on toast, or up and go. There are some multicultural nutritious food ideas. For example, the pork floss from the Asian community, falafel from Arabic community, egg salad from Polish and European community, and dal from Indian community. So these are all high in protein, high energy, and very nutritious as well. So some people may experience compulsive eating or weight gain as one of the side effects of taking Parkinson's medications or after the deep brain stimulation therapy. So in that case, a well-balanced diet is very important to keep your weight under control. So be aware of the portion sizes. So this is a portion plate. So on this plate, it is recommended to have half of your plate to be filled up with vegetables or salad. A quarter of your plate can be the protein-rich source, such as meat, fish, lentils, or eggs. And the portion is roughly the size of your palm. And the remaining quarter of your plate is the carbs. So such as rice, pasta, bread, potatoes. And the portion is roughly about the size of your fist. Try to choose those low GI carbohydrates, or you can call it slow-releasing carbohydrates. For example, using whole grain bread instead of white bread. You can use brown rice instead of white. Use jacket potato instead of chips. And try to cut down the high saturated fat, high sugar snacks or food items, such as cakes, pastries, regular soft drinks, alcohol, pizza, deep fried food. So when you use salad dressing or use sauce, you can try to use those tomato-based or clear salad dressing instead of rich, creamy sauces. For example, balsamic vinegar dressing would be definitely a good idea. Okay, all right. Protein. I guess among your group, from doctors, from social media, you probably heard about protein effect a lot. In some people, protein may interfere with the effects of their levodopa medication. It often interferes when levodopa is taken with a high protein meal. Having said that, a cup of biscuits, a piece of fruit, or an ice cream is not considered as a high protein meal. An example of a high protein meal is the traditional English breakfast, which include bacon, eggs, baked beans, and sausages. Doctors may advise you to take levodopa on an empty stomach. It is general advice that you should take your levodopa medication 45 minutes before or after a meal, or have the higher protein meal at the end of the day when symptom control may not be as critical. And do not restrict your protein intake, especially if you have already lost weight or is losing weight. And please speak to your dietitian to see if your regular meals are high in protein or not, if you're not sure. So what are protein-rich food? Protein-rich food are usually in two food groups, meat and alternative group and the dairy group. So for example, meat, chicken, fish, poultry, eggs, tofu, soy products, nuts and seeds, milk, soy milk, yogurt, and some cheese, and some dairy desserts. Okay. So, constipation is the most common problem for Parkinson's. There are three solutions for constipation: fiber, fluid, and exercise. Three types of fiber, and different types of fiber plays its own role in managing the bowel health. Soluble fiber softens the stool and slows the movement of food through the large bowel. It can also help with diarrhea because it can slow down and thicken the stool. Insoluble fiber adds bulk to the stool and speeds up the movement of stool through the bowel. Resistant starch feeds the good bacteria in our gut. So different food have different types of fiber, and some foods have multiple types of fiber in them. Therefore, it is very important for us to have a variety of food every day. How to increase our fiber intake? There are different ways to try to increase fiber. So for example, we can add some fruit, fresh fruit or dry fruit on top of our cereal. We can add nuts or seeds on our cereal as well. If you have problem chewing, you can use ground nut or ground seed to your cereal instead of the actual crushed nuts or seeds. When you do your baking, you can also add, for example, almond meal or ground an almond into your baking to make a dessert. You can choose high grain cereals. Watch the package on the nutrition information panel. A high fiber breakfast cereal has to have more than 4 grams of fiber per serve. So you can look at the nutrition panel on a package to determine whether it is high in fiber or not. Sometimes you can use some brown rice to replace your white rice. Use jacket potato with the skin more often. You can also add legumes and lentils to your soup, casseroles, and stews. When you have your fruit, apple or pear, try to have the skin if possible. When you increase your fiber intake, remember to increase it slowly. Otherwise, you may experience cramps, bloating, or tummy ache. Add 1 fiber-rich food every 3 days and monitor your bowel movement. Don't overdo it. And please increase your fluid intake while increasing your high fiber food, because fiber absorbs a lot of fluid during the process. If you increase your fiber only without increasing your fluid, it actually can make the constipation worse. And certain cooking methods can break down fiber. For example, boiling vegetables or stir-frying vegetables can reduce fiber content by 50%. And deep frying potatoes, even if the skin is attached, it breaks down fiber content, leaving very little we can use. Having said that, you don't have to stop eating your chips. You can still enjoy it, but you just need to be aware that you may need to add additional fiber elsewhere during the day to meet your daily fiber requirement. Some devices which strain out pulps, such as juicer, can reduce fiber content, as most of the fiber is in the pulp. However, if you puree your vegetables, it does not lessen the fiber content. So this is actually good news for those people who needs to be on a texture-modified diet. Alternatively, fiber supplements can be used, such as Benefiber, psyllium husk, or Metamucil. You can take it as a drink or add into smoothie, cereal, or your porridge. And probiotics sometimes can help, but it takes time to work. Don't expect it to work after 1 day or 3 days. Usually the recommendation is you need to take at least 3 to 4 weeks in order to see some benefits. This is a popular remedy used in some hospitals. Most people find this remedy quite palatable. So you can start with 1 tablespoon a day, gradually increase until you find the amount that works the best. Most people find a couple of tablespoons a day would be sufficient. Adequate fluid intake is also very vital in preventing and managing constipation. How much fluid you need depends on your weight. So the heavier you are, the more fluid you need. Fluid is not just water. So don't need to be stressed out if you don't like water. Anything in liquid form under room temperature is considered as fluid. So soup, tea, coffee, even jelly and ice cream, they are considered as fluid, but of course they are not as the same amount as the water. So there are signs of dehydration you can look out for: dry mouth, cracked lips, dark urine, sunken eyes, low blood pressure. Sometimes you can feel dizzy or feel very tired, getting easily confused. That are also signs of dehydration. So dehydration can also worsen muscle cramps. If you have muscle cramps, don't simply just add magnesium supplement. Check if you are drinking enough fluids or not. As you may be aware, in general, it is not a good idea to have a lot of salty food or add a lot of salt in your meals. However, some people with Parkinson's may have problem with with low blood pressure. It can be a symptom of Parkinson's, or it can be a side effect of the Parkinson's medication. Salt causes our body to retain water, so reducing salt intake can lead to a decrease in our blood pressure. So if you are concerned, speak to your GP, your specialist, or the Parkinson's nurse specialist. Okay. Vitamin B6 and iron are naturally present in a lot of food, such as meat, chicken, fish, eggs, brown rice, soybeans, oats, nuts, and some fortified products such as cereal. Having them via food is fine, but if you have to take them as a supplement, please do not take within 2 hours of your levodopa medication. Calcium, magnesium, vitamin D can make our bones stronger. They are safe to take. High magnesium food include broccoli and some dark green veggies, dried beans and peas, and whole grains. Antioxidants are chemicals that work to stop the damaging effects of free radicals, keep cell damage under control, and neutralize free radicals. There is no evidence that antioxidants will slow the progression of Parkinson's or improve symptoms. You can get sufficient antioxidants if you are eating a well-balanced diet that includes a lot of vegetables and fruits. Excessive antioxidant supplements are not recommended. Coenzyme Q10 is naturally present in very small amounts in a wide range of foods, such as beef, offal, soybean oil, or oily fish, and also has strong antioxidant properties. There has been some small studies on coenzyme Q10 on early stage of Parkinson's, and appears to slow the progressive deterioration of function in people with Parkinson's. However, in the studies, participants were taking a large dose. The recommended dosage of coenzyme Q10 supplements on the market is far less than what was in those studies. So current evidence is insufficient to recommend coenzyme Q10 as a treatment for Parkinson's. However, if you wish to take additional coenzyme Q10, please talk to your doctor or your health professionals first. Fighting inflammation can be another important strategy for keeping the brain healthy. So anti-inflammatory foods include rosemary, oily fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel, dark green vegetables such as kale, spinach, and also soy products. Medium chain triglycerides is a type of fat that may play a role in reducing inflammation in the body in some studies. Coconut oil is the most common product for MCT. However, currently there is no validated scientific research to support the use of coconut oil in Parkinson's. MCT oil or coconut oil is high in saturated fat, which is harmful for the heart and can cause stroke and heart attack. MCT can also cause some ketones to build up in our body, which can be a problem for people with diabetes. MCT is processed by the liver. So if you have liver disease, it's better not to take it. However, if you are considering taking MCT oil or coconut oil, please talk to your doctor and your dietitian about how coconut oil might fit into your daily meal plan. Some studies on turmeric have demonstrated to have some potential anti-inflammatory, antioxidant effect. Some also stated taking turmeric assists muscle cramps. Some studies on cinnamon have showed some neuroprotective benefits on mice and improve motor function. However, at the moment, those studies on turmeric and cinnamon are only at laboratory levels and animal studies. There is very limited clinical studies so far. So if you wish to use turmeric, it is suggested to add it in cooking than taking it as a supplement. And please speak to your doctor or healthcare professionals first. Fava beans contain levodopa, so adding them into one's diet is an attractive idea for people with Parkinson's. Unfortunately, the amount of levodopa in fava beans is unknown and likely very minimal. Right, Mediterranean diet is very popular at the moment, but it's not a magic diet for Parkinson's. It has been very well researched and is an evidence-based diet, healthy diet for everyone. Right? It is a plant-based diet with plenty of vegetables, fruits, nuts, whole grains, which provides plenty of fiber to address the common constipation issue for people with Parkinson's and for general population. And it encourages more fish, olive oil and nuts, which provide healthy fat for our brain, and lots of other vitamins and omega-3 oil. And encourage lots of antioxidant and anti-inflammatory containing foods. So it is a very good diet, definitely. It is recommended. However, don't take it as a magic diet for Parkinson's. So in general, eating a variety of food from all five core groups is the key. So if you can't have certain food or have restrictions due to some medical conditions, such as diabetes or kidney disease, bear in mind that there are always alternatives. So you can speak to a dietitian who can work out the best meal plan suitable for you and give you individualized advice. So there are some of the indications that you may need to see a dietitian. So if you are underweight or you are losing weight, or if you have lost your appetite, not eating, if you have sudden weight gain and you have trouble maintaining your weight or try to lose a bit weight, if you're struggling to manage your meal preparation or constipation, or if you're on a texture modified diet and thickened fluids, or if you have multiple health conditions, not only just Parkinson's, you do need to speak to a dietitian to help you. Right. All right, so hopefully my presentation today can give you some better understanding of the nutritional risks for Parkinson's and also give you some practical tips to manage those problems. Thank you.